Okay, welcome to Lecture 5, and we'll get into some of the ideas about names in the book, why things are called what they are, and why things don't seem to say that in the book. So, some of you may be wondering what we mean when we say, I'll be reading from Telemachus, or I can't wait for that hilarious passage in Rocks. Where are these names coming from? My copy only has these weird bracketed numbers before each chapter, and geez, now you tell me they're called episodes and not chapters? Where is this coming from? How can I be expected to keep track when we're not even using the same names? So I think we owe you a little explanation. Joyce designed two separate tables, one in 1920 and another in 1921, to help his friends understand the Homeric parallels within the novel. This was done for a number of reasons, but it's important to think of the process as one designed to help people whom Joyce trusted tell others what to look for in his work. There are some Joyceans who feel these are not very helpful to new readers, and that they have quite an unfortunate effect of creating more misunderstandings than they cure. I myself am rather undecided on that. In my experience, Joyce offers us many clues to his work, but they're seldom as straightforward as these handy little charts seem to suggest, and it could very well be that there's a joke being played here that only he understands. In some cases, it's from these charts that we get the popular names for each episode, and some certainly relevant clues to the Homer that are such an important part of the novel's initial design, and became increasingly important to him as he reworked earlier drafts for the finished 1922 edition. They also list the hours during which each episode occurs, and some corresponding color, narrative technique, science or art that's being employed, and a relative bodily organ. And then sometimes they don't. You can see how it might get a bit maddening to follow them too closely. The first schema was written for his friend Carlo Lonati, who was to translate the work into Italian. In keeping with my usual approach to Joyce, I feel it best to go with his first, less redefined statements. But the second was written for Valérie Labaud, who was giving a lecture on the work in Paris prior to the book release. This copy seems to have circulated quite a bit amongst Joyce's first readers as an aid, though it was not meant to be published in any other way. Joyce later gave his permission to Stuart Gilbert to do that in his 1930 study, James Joyce's Ulysses, and it's that version which is pictured here. The schemas can be found easily enough online, and I suggest a project called the Joyce Project for easy reference.